Salute, discipuli. Today, our old friend Banana Monkey is here to help us talk about participles. You do know what participles are, don't you, Banana Monkey? Well, we'll see. All right. So it's fair to ask before we begin, what is a participle? Well, a participle is a verb form used as an adjective. And there are four different participles in Latin. Now, in English, we have two. And the first one corresponds pretty closely with the first Latin participle. It's called the present active participle. Now, with participles and with infinitives, remember the tenses are present, perfect, and future. All those tenses tell us with participles and infinitives whether it happens before, during, or after the main verb. A present participle happens at the same time as the main verb. It's happening. And in fact, in English, it is the verb form that ends in ing that is used as an adjective. So let's talk about forming the present active participle in Latin. And this is really the most complicated one to form. Okay, so let's see. So we start with our second principal part, and there are three steps. Step one, this is going to look familiar to you. Drop those last three letters from the second principal part. So ARE if it's first conjugation, long ERE if it's second, short ERE if it's third I stem, IRE if it's fourth. So look at our example here from amare, drop off the ARE, your stem is am, petere, pet, audire, aud. Second step, you have to add theme vowels, and these are the same theme vowels that we use in the imperfect tense, A, E, E, I-E, I-E. Again, this should look pretty familiar to you so far. So a first conjugation verb like amo is going to be ama. A third conjugation verb like peto, pete. Fourth conjugation, audie. The third step, this is the part where it gets a little different. The nominative singular, you add ns to that stem with the theme vowels on the end. And after that, it becomes a third conjugation adjective. The stem is actually nt. But like a third conjugation adjective like ingens, ingentis, audiens, audientis. And then you just decline it with third declension endings. So to review, present active participle. It's the equivalent in English is ing used as an adjective. Step one, drop the last three letters from the second principal part, just like you do when you're forming the imperfect tense. Step two, the same theme vowels that we use for the imperfect tense, A, E, E, I-E, I-E. And step three, ns in the nominative singular. And for all of the other forms, nt plus third declension endings. The perfect passive participle is a lot simpler. It is the fourth principal part. Pretty simple, right? Notice, so for amo, amatus, and the us, tells us it's the fourth principal part used as a first and second declension ending. It's like magnus, magna, magnum. But the fourth principal part, in fact, is the perfect passive participle. And notice how this is translated. You can always translate it accurately if you say having been. For amatus, having been loved. Sometimes the English past participle will work, loved. The future active participle is also pretty simple, and this should look familiar to you, by the way, just like the perfect passive should have. Notice you just put UR in front of the ending for the fourth principal part. So it looks a lot like the perfect passive participle, only UR in front of your us, in front of your in front of your amaturus, amatura, amaturum. You'll notice this is also what we use for the future active infinitive. only without the essay. You remember we made a big deal about the essay after it when it's an infinitive. Because when it has essay, it's an infinitive. When it doesn't, it's a participle. And so we're describing a noun that's about to do something, or who is about to do something, but hasn't done it yet. That's why it's future. So it can be about to love, or intending to love, destined to love. A famous example of this was the gladiatorial games, where the gladiators would greet the emperor or whoever the presiding officer was with te moratori salutamus. Moratori being the future participle, the future active participle of morior, to die. We who are about to die, who are going to die, salute you. And finally, the future passive participle. The future passive participle is translated to be, but it's not the same to be that, remember the present passive infinitive, to be loved. This is a different kind of to be, if that makes sense. Well, for instance, look at the English word agenda. In Latin, that is agenda, things to be done. This is a little more complicated, but it's going to look a lot like the present active until we get to the third step. Notice the first step. Drop the last three letters from the infinitive. That should look familiar to us. Second step, add the same theme vowels we used in the imperfect tense. A, E, E, I-E, I-E. And step 3, this is where it's different. Instead of adding NS, NT, and then third declension endings, here we add ND and then just first and second declension endings. Amandus, amanda, amandum. Mitendus, mitenda, mitendum. Audiendus, audienda, audiendum. And that's all there is to it. So now you really do know all you need to know about participles, right? Right. So you're able to complete that attached sheet.